Hello, and thank you for joining me here. I'm Laura Perdew, author of Fiction and Nonfiction for Kids. I'm using my nonfiction picture book science series about space to show readers a little bit about my nonfiction research and writing process. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I organize all the information I find as I research using this book, The Sun. And in this book, I had information including things like how sometimes the sun is very calm, but other times it's roiling and boiling and spewing things out into space, and all the way to different kind of information such as how the sun controls our seasons and our days. And the question is, how do I organize all that information into a coherent story? Okay, let's get started. In one of the other videos in this series, I talked about my research process. Here you can see one page of the basic notes I took in the introductory research phase. After some noodling and deeper research, I had to start thinking about what to do with all that information. Sometimes it can be tricky to decide what to keep, what to leave out, and how to organize it all. In this case, I had information about everything from photosynthesis to eclipses to how the sun controls our seasons. And it can be hard to know where to start. But I have a trick. And the trick is note cards. As you can see here, I plucked out the main topics from my note taking and wrote each one on a separate note card. For me, being able to see those main points in this simple form helps me to see what I have. Then I start moving them around, physically shuffling them around the tabletop, trying to figure out what order might be best for the project, as well as what might not make it into the book. Another thing to consider when organizing and shuffling all those note cards around is how to connect or transition from one topic to the other. For example, how do I get from talking about photosynthesis to information about the northern lights? I decided that the connection was how incredible all of those things are. So after talking about photosynthesis and life on Earth and that the sun gives us enough warmth for us to have liquid water on one spread, I started the next spread with this. If all that wasn't incredible enough, your sun puts on a really cool light show for you Earthlings. No matter the type of writing, connections and transitions between ideas or paragraphs or pages is very important. Eventually, I get to this point, an outline. I know it doesn't look like a traditional one, but now that I have this outline, the rest can follow, and I can fill in the details. It's also important to note that I probably shuffled these pieces of paper around a dozen times, maybe more, trying to figure out the best flow. After all that shuffling, this is what I settled on at last, and this is how the book is organized. I realize that not everyone loves organizing and creating outlines, but let me assure you, if you take the time to think through how your information should be organized, the writing process will be much easier and quicker. So take the time to organize, and happy writing.